For some years, this was the menace the nation battled as Boko Haram constituted themselves as nuisance to the development and defense of the nation. Coupled with this was the issue of border control and the pervasive problem of drug abuse. These interconnected threats demanded a comprehensive and collaborative approach to ensure the safety and security of the nation and its borders.
From day one, we met with the service chiefs and really create that synergy between them and between us and between other services. So cooperation among services is very, very vital to achieving success in our operations, and that we have done pretty well. Our relationship with all sister agencies, including the Office of the National Security Advisor, is very good and is the best in recent times.
We went straight to work and gave a margin of that. And of course, we had to speak with some of our vendors and etc. At no cost to government. We're able to get additional systems. We worked the whole solution, and in less than 3 weeks, in about 2 weeks plus, we were able to clear that, and we make the mantra never again. Will there be backlogs and stuff like that?
Already, the president has given a directive that all law enforcement agencies should collaborate towards enhancing the peace and security of the country. So based on this marching order, we are working very, very closely with the armed forces of Nigeria, with the police, with the customs, immigration, NFIU, the whole lot, NAFDAC. The customs, for instance, we already have an MOU with them, so there's no conflict.
The no conflict here means synergy between all agencies involved in national defense to tackle the menace of terrorism, drug abuse, and border control. And while these have been achieved, the next step was to involve some other stakeholders.
We developed a whole society approach, talking to all the leaders across religious leaders, the civil society organization, the traditional institutions. We've been talking to them, we've been engaging them, and we engage also with the sub-nationals, the governors, so we can have everybody on board to fight this menace, and it's yielding really good results.
I always tell people this: you cannot defend your nation if you cannot protect your border. A nation is as secure as its border. So we're working hard. You saw about 40 vehicles, vehicles were distributed some couple of weeks ago by the Immigration Service to the border stations, to be able to empower. And we're in the process of building our FOBs, forward operating bases, for our immigration officers to ensure that they have good accommodation, good facilities to be able to stay and to be able to defend our border space.
The war against drug abuse, WADA. We go around communities, markets, churches, traditional institutions, schools. We've done now, in the last 1 year, over 900 schools.
Wow.
Communities. We've gone to markets.
And it's called across the states.
It's everywhere, all our communities. War against drug abuse. Now, thankfully, as back to your question, we hope to optimize the strength so that we can go down to all the local governments in the country.
These efforts have in so many ways yielded a lot of results.
We seized just a few weeks ago the largest haulage of heroin in the Military Mohammed International Airport ever in the history of the agency.
If you see the number of terrorists being killed today, you know that the collaboration is yielding result. For the first quarter alone, about 2,350 terrorists were really neutralized, and 2,300 arrested. And we have recovered more than 2,400 weapons. and over 60,000 different sizes of ammunitions. Not to talk of what is happening in the Niger Delta, the recovery we get on crude oil and the destruction of illegal refineries and so on. The success is tremendous. And among those neutralized are really high-profile criminals or bandits.
So we are reworking the whole architecture, and I tell you that we're doing it in such a way so that we are also not going to compromise national security, because with what the solution we're building is a solution that is linked with the Interpol 247 and also linked with the MIDAS solution, so that it's automated. If you are a person of interest, if you're a criminal, you are a terrorist, or you're whatever in the world, you're on the watch list in the world, the first is that the system actually shuts you out.
Technology is an indispensable component of modern national security. From enhancing intelligence gathering and surveillance capabilities to bolstering cybersecurity and improving military operations, advanced technological solutions provide the tools needed to protect the nations from a wide range of threats.
Our team have been talking to technology providers, defense industries across the world to get modern technologies to be apt in knowing what is new in the warfare today, and that has been yielding result, and we have huge database of the new technologies. And again, this committee that we institute are looking at all the new technologies that are needed for us to secure this country and to promote peace and unity in the country.
We have tried to rework the whole passport process by fully automating the process. And automating the process in essence that today we're trying to reduce human contact, because we realize that using technology, because as I always say, this is 2024, this is not 1974, so this is the era of technology, and technology must take the rightful place, so now you can apply for your passport at any point, comfort of your room, and without actually going to an immigration office until you need to do your biometrics. And I can tell you for free that even the issue of the biometric solution is presently being worked out.
Our focus is to banish poverty and actually have prosperity. Our president has said that I'm only going to tax prosperity. I want to tax the fruit. I want to tax the return.
National Information Technology Development Agency (NITDE) was created to organize and drive the nation's ICT sector. In August 2019, Mr. Kashifu Inuwa Abdullahi CCIE assumed office as the Director General of NITDE, employing a vision of a more digital Nigeria based on building a high-velocity organization, developing market-creating regulation, and facilitating Nigeria's development into a sustainable digital economy. NITDE remains committed to positioning the country as a global tech talent factory.
You all agree with me that industrialization is a key pillar of economic development, and this is the perfect time to drive that conversation.
We all know that Nigeria has a very strong potential to strengthen its local manufacturing capabilities.
All of us need to do some work in providing the right education and build capacity.
National Agricultural Development Fund, to be the leading development fund for agricultural growth, sustainability, and economic prosperity. Vudi, fashion is life. The problem of drug abuse is intricately linked to security issues, as it often fuels criminal activities, including terrorism and banditry, and government is showing a lot of resilience in battling this scourge.
One of the factors that compel the use of drugs is poverty, unemployment, These are exactly what the president wants to address in the Renewed Hope agenda. When people don't have jobs, they are hopeless, no food, no means of income, frustration. What do they do next? They look for escape through drugs. So it is very important, these policies of the president, and we are very delighted with them in the NDLEA.
The Ministry of Interior plays a crucial role in the management of internal security, as it has lots of agencies under its purview.
I'm grateful that we've been able to provide a policy direction, and for the agencies under the purview, basically 5. That's the Immigration Service, the NSCDC, the Fire Service, the Correctional Service, and of course the board, that's responsible for recruitment, training, discipline, and welfare of officers, of our paramilitary officers. And I can tell you that it's about coming on board and doing a SWOT analysis of what we met on ground.
With the SWOT analysis generated by the Ministry of Interior, the ministry was able to work around the agencies under R, one by one, in safeguarding internal security, while the Ministry of Defense worked on external security.
We're introducing a contactless biometric solution that will be coming up very soon, such that a renewal of passport just be like the American passport or the UK passport. You don't go to immigration office, you don't leave the comfort of your home to renew your passport, So we already have the database, so we're building a solution that will be able to sync with the database, you understand, to be able to have comparative analysis of biometric features, to be able to ascertain identity and all these things.
As you are aware, security is important to every development, and providing security will certainly improve development, and that is what we are meant to do. And we are building, they really hope to build a resilient and agile armed forces, well equipped and well manned, with latest technology and trained, and that will help us achieve this.
From improving the immigration sector, the Interior Ministry moved to revamp the correctional facilities across the nation.
I can tell you clearly that we have been able to renovate a lot of our correctional centers. Even the unfortunate situation that happened in Suleja, we were proactive, and you can see that when you go to the Suleja correctional center, you will see a building that we're building just beside, because it was a correctional center that was built in 1914, So, this is the first time now that we're building. We started building another one. We have started building, because it was actually built for $250. But as at the time the walls came down, we had $499. There was obviously over congestion. Yes, over a century, I know my grandmother wasn't born then, so you can imagine how old the prison. But under the Renewed Hope agenda, go to Jos Correctional Center, you will see a new, a renovated, refurbished correctional center that is decent enough for human habitation. You can go to Kuje now, look at what is happening in Kuje. Go to so many of our correctional centers. More than 10 correctional centers have been renovated, have been built under this particular administration. Of course, we know it's a long journey. We have 256 correctional centers. We are not magicians. The government cannot do everything in one day, but the issue is that we're on track, taking it one after the other. And we know that by the grace of God, we will get there.
Even the fire service is not left out.
So the role of the fire service will not just be about being actors, in firefighting, but let them be regulators, let them be enumerators, let them be trainers, and to be able to create an industry, that will be the first line of response in emergency situations. So we are working on that, and you can see in fire service that is, we are presently doing that.
The Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps operates under the auspices of the Ministry of Interior, and its mandate encompasses a wide range of security and emergency management responsibilities.
We've been able to further equip our correctional centers, our NSCDC with weapons and etc. So at least they are better poised, to fight vandalism, to fight insecurity and the sabotage, of our critical asset. We have an NSCDC today that does not run after what police runs after. There's a distinction. Police faces, yes, an NSCDC now we just face our critical assets, our pipeline, our power stations, our power infrastructure, our telecom infrastructure, and our schools. The Safe School Initiative is there, and we are recording success. So above all, we have, and of course the ministry, there is more stringent. Just last week, some days ago, we discovered some people.
We have the Renewed Hope agenda. And in the Renewed Hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, all ministries and parastatals have their own deliverables. Okay. And those deliverables for the security agencies are tied together. So we have to work together to make sure we achieve. So those deliverables bring us together. And that creates more regular meetings. So because we are interrelated. For instance, I need a lot of intelligence to operate as a Minister of Defense, and that is being provided by the Department of SSS.
In the end, this journey towards securing Nigeria's future is more than just strategies and operations. It is about the spirit of the Nigerian people, their leaders' dedication, and a collective will to overcome adversity. The story of Nigeria's defense is still being written, but with each passing day, it moves closer to a chapter of lasting peace and security.
The ultimate aim for us is for a Nigerian who stays in Gamboa, a Nigerian that stays in Bayelsa, a Nigerian that stays in Port Harcourt, or a Nigerian that stays in the most remote part of this country will be as safe as a Nigerian that stays in Abuja. Security for all and security at all places. That is the ultimate target, and I know the Renewed Hope will achieve that.
Our focus is to banish poverty and actually have prosperity. Our president has said that I'm only going to tax prosperity. I want to tax the fruit. I want to tax return.
National Information Technology Development Agency (NITDEV) was created to organize and drive the nation's ICT sector. In August 2019, Mr. Kashifu Inuwa Abdullahi CCIE assumed office as the Director General of NITDEV, employing a vision of a more digital Nigeria based on building a high-velocity organization, developing market-creating regulation, and facilitating Nigeria's development into a sustainable digital economy. NITDEV remains committed to positioning the country as a global tech talent factory.
You all agree with me that industrialization is a key pillar of economic development, and this is the perfect time to drive that conversation.
We all know that Nigeria has a very strong potential to strengthen its local manufacturing capabilities.
All of us need to do some work in providing the right education and build capacity.
National Agricultural Development Fund, to be the leading development fund for agricultural growth, sustainability, and economic prosperity. Voody, fashion is life.
Africa's got stories.
A new Nigeria is here.
A new Nigeria is here.
A new Nigeria